Okay, let's unpack this. We're diving deep into the massive, chaotic, glorious beast that is YouTube.
Right.
If you use the internet, you use YouTube.
Yeah.
It's the second most visited website in the world, a behemoth of information, education, entertainment. And yet, the one thing that feels utterly impossible is that simple, fundamental act of managing the channels you have intentionally chosen to follow.
It's the paradox of modern digital life, isn't it? I mean, you actively subscribe to a channel because you want their content.
Exactly.
But the moment you open your feed, YouTube does everything in its power to show you anything but what you specifically asked for.
And what we found in the source material explains exactly why your subscription feed is such a psychological mess. This chaos is not an accident. It is an economic strategy.
Precisely. We need to go back to 2015. YouTube deliberately removed native subscription categorization, the ability to put channels into folders or topics.
Right. Yeah.
The internal research was clear. When users couldn't easily navigate to their preferred sources, they spent more time on the platform, constantly searching, constantly refreshing, and critically, being exposed to exponentially more algorithmic recommendations.
So they killed the map. Not because it was broken, but because forcing you to wander around their digital shopping mall for an extra 10 minutes.
Meant more ad exposure.
Exactly.
More engagement metrics for them.
It was a conscious, cynical, anti-user decision.
Based purely on maximizing session duration and ad revenue. That single choice set the stage for everything we are fighting today.
And that's the mission for this deep dive. We are analyzing the digital marketing landscape of 2026. A world now driven by aggressive AI and this relentless short-form video velocity.
Right.
And we're examining the primary counter tool. That tool is PocketTube, a third-party extension that over 300,000 power users rely on to tame their feeds, reclaim their time, and take back control.
We'll explore how it works, the features that make it, mandatory for certain users, and the technical walls its developer constantly hits when trying to impose order on a platform that is, by design, built for maximal disorder.
Here's where it gets really interesting, because that founding chaos from 2015 is only being amplified by current digital trends.
Oh, absolutely.
We aren't just dealing with old, poorly organized subscriptions. We are dealing with a fire hose of content velocity, unlike anything we've seen before.
The acceleration is staggering. And it's driven entirely by the dominance of short-form video. It's the continuous legacy of TikTok's impact, which is now fully integrated into YouTube via Shorts.
The numbers are just undeniable.
Yeah.
The sources point to massive brands adapting their strategies entirely. Look at Red Bull. Their tough YouTube Shorts aren't just popular, they exceed 400 million views. That scale is transformative, and it changes how all creators must approach their content.
And if you're a creator, your tactics must be ruthless. Success in Shorts demands extreme efficiency. You have to hook the viewer in the first 3 seconds, no preamble.
None.
You must maintain a breakneck pace with constant dynamic visuals. And crucially, you have to leverage trending audio. Music and sound don't just set the mood, they actively boost visibility.
So we have this volume explosion and velocity increase happening simultaneously with a foundational shift in how people search for information, driven entirely by AI.
Exactly. This is the SEO earthquake of 2025. AI overviews, those automatically generated summaries that sit right at the top of Google search results, they scaled quickly.
Right.
They're now on an estimated 13% of searches and climbing. Google is actively training users to use AI mode for complex follow-up queries.
And that fundamentally changes the goal for content creators. It shifts the focus of SEO entirely. It's no longer just about ranking number 1 on a search page to get a blue link click.
Not at all. It's about being the source. The game has moved from ranking for visibility to structuring your pages for information extraction. If a search result is answered directly by an AI overview, you need your content to be the material the AI is using instead.
So you want to win the snippet. You want to be the authoritative answer the AI pulls from, which means metrics like generated experience optimization GEO and answered experience optimization GEO are the new critical targets.
You're optimizing not for the user reading your page, but for the algorithm extracting data from it.
Right.
And this leads to a fascinating user response. As all this AI-generated content flooded feeds content that was quick, efficient, and often very generic, the sources confirmed that sameness became obvious.
The human audience got fatigued.
Precisely. When you can generate endless text instantly, the value of that text just plummets. The user response to this volume and mediocrity was discernment. The only brands and channels that stood out were those with a consistent, authentic voice and, most importantly, compelling storytelling.
Information dumps are easy to generate. A genuine connection and narrative are not.
Exactly.
So if we step back, YouTube created a system of deliberate chaos in 2015. Today, the platforms driven by short-form velocity and AI content are amplifying that chaos tenfold. If YouTube's goal is disorder to maximize engagement, what happens when a user needs genuine professional order?
That's where the counter tools come in. You, the user, must reach for an external solution to impose that structure. And for so many, that solution is PocketTube.
Developed by Dmitry Naybox since 2017. This is the essential independent browser extension, available for everything from Chrome to Safari, that successfully plugs the major UI hole YouTube created nearly a decade ago.
The core value proposition is structure, and they really nail it. The extension seamlessly adds a subscription group sidebar to the YouTube interface. It effectively creates a hierarchical file system where none existed.
You can create custom groups based on purpose or topic like morning news, weekend projects, or finance and investing. But the real power is how it manages channels that cross over multiple categories.
Absolutely. Think of a channel that covers both history and travel. You don't want to choose just one folder.
Right.
PocketTube lets you add that single channel to multiple groups simultaneously using a small flag or plus icon that appears next to the channel name. It allows for the complexity of your real-world consumption habits.
And it makes visual sense too, right?
It does. They utilize custom or prepared icon packs for visual organization. It turns that drab subscription list into something that looks more like a structured desktop folder system. It really helps with memory and usability.
I can imagine setting up all those groups takes a bit of time. Does the system register those changes instantly?
That's one of those crucial operational details that power users need to know. PocketTube is an overlay. It's working on top of YouTube's existing code.
Okay.
So when you manually drag channels into groups or add them one by one, you must refresh the page for the extension to fully register those changes and update the sidebar. It's a small friction point, but a necessary one given its third-party nature.
Okay, so beyond simple grouping, PocketTube is a productivity powerhouse. It addresses so many of the power users' deepest pain points. What are the heavy-hitting features?
Well, let's start with deck mode. For anyone who needs to monitor multiple feeds at once, say, our researcher tracking 5 different industry topics. Deck mode is transformative.
What exactly does deck mode look like for the listener?
Imagine a control panel or cockpit. It enables a multi-column, TweetDeck-style viewing mode for your groups.
Oh, I see.
Instead of scrolling a single endless list, you can have columns for learning, financial news, and current events side by side. The free version limits you to 3 columns, but it allows for parallel, focused consumption.
That immediately sounds like a tool for serious content triage.
It is. And secondly, the filtering is robust. You can filter videos by topic, duration, maybe you only want videos longer than 15 minutes, or only shorts. You can filter by activity and by date, and you can apply this filtering both on your main subscription feed and on individual channel pages.
And I need to talk about the subscription health tools.
Yeah.
Because I know I currently have 30 channels I've forgotten I even subscribe to,
Yeah.
just cluttering the zone. That sounds like digital therapy.
It's absolutely essential maintenance for anyone dealing with digital debt. PocketTube offers a health status check that identifies inactive channels, allowing for bulk unsubscribing. It's the easiest way to prune the dead weight.
And then, the universal problem. Dealing with watched videos. I hate seeing content I've already consumed.
They tackle that head-on with the Mark is Watched functionality. This is critical because it syncs with your YouTube viewing history. It lets you remove shorts or any videos you've already consumed from your feeds. It's the only way to genuinely achieve a YouTube inbox zero experience.
That's incredible utility.
Yeah.
But as we know, when you build a tool like this on top of a massive hostile platform, you run into technical constraints. This is where the tension becomes really apparent.
We're essentially watching a constant cat and mouse game. Let's look at the technical foundation. PocketTube is built using standard Chrome extension APIs for local storage, but for interacting with user data, it leans heavily on the YouTube Data API v3.
Okay. And the Google Drive API for the sync, right?
Exactly, for optional sync. And the key word with the YouTube Data API v3 is read only.
What does that mean in practice?
It means the extension can read your subscription list, your video watch history, and channel info. It does not allow the extension to fundamentally modify YouTube's core interface or fix the root problem. That's why PocketTube has to be an overlay.
Got it. You can see see the information and reorganize how it displays it, but it can't change YouTube itself.
Precisely.
Now, before we get into the headaches, the sources mention privacy. When you're connecting a third-party tool like this, is there a genuine risk of data exploitation?
It's a fair question, and the developer is extremely clear on this. Core data, your subscription lists, your group configurations are never sold to third parties. They use that read-only API access to ensure data safety, and usage analytics are anonymized through Mixpanel purely to monitor feature adoption.
So the core concern is addressed.
It is. Their policy is transparent and reassuring.
Good. Now, let's talk about the pain points. What is the number one technical hurdle that frustrates those 300,000 power users?
Without a doubt, it's cross-device sync. You might spend hours perfectly structuring your groups on your desktop Chrome browser. But if you switch to your Firefox or your Android phone or the iOS app, those groups do not automatically sync.
Wait, you're saying you had to rebuild your structure?
Potentially, yes. Syncing groups requires manually enabling Google Drive Sync, and the data is stored in a hidden part of your Google Drive the application data folder. It's not intuitive, and it's certainly not automatic, which is what users expect.
And the mobile experience seems to suffer significantly.
It is the weakest link. The iOS app, for instance, has a very low rating, around 2.9 out of 5. Users complain it feels clunky and is missing 40 to 60% of the desktop's features.
But the biggest limitation isn't even the developer's fault, is it?
No, it's the YouTube API itself. The API actually restricts the mobile app from loading very large subscription lists. Power users who track, say, over 1,000 channels, well, they often report the app failing to load or refresh their feeds entirely.
The platform is actively limiting the ability of the solution to serve its intended user base.
Exactly.
And what about bulk actions? If I try to clean up a massive playlist, does the tool always succeed?
Unfortunately, no. The feature to bulk remove watched videos often fails for playlists with more than 100 videos.
Why 100?
Because YouTube natively only loads the first 100 videos on a page by default. So if PocketTube tries to run a cleanup script on a list of 500 videos, it can only interact with the 100 that are currently visible on the screen.
So you have to scroll down repeatedly to load everything first.
Which sort of defeats the purpose of bulk. And finally, there's the issue of granular sorting. I might want my learning group sorted by date published, but my commentary group sorted by subscribers count. PocketTube can't handle that group-specific nuance.
Not yet. Sorting is applied globally.
It's an acknowledged feature request, which shows you how detailed the power user's needs are.
So we have all these complexities, API limits, mobile clunkiness, yet 300,000 people are using it, and a lot of them are paying that $2.99 a month for premium. What's the final justification for that trade-off?
For the researcher, the student, the professional who uses YouTube as a critical knowledge source, the people with 200 plus subscriptions premium is nearly mandatory.
Why?
That $3 unlocks unlimited nested groups, allowing for complex hierarchical organization. It gives them unlimited tags filtering for professional level curation and a full unlimited deck mode access.
It's the cost of regaining efficiency in a platform that's actively trying to steal it.
It is, and we should absolutely acknowledge the developer Dmitry Nabok, who is based in Kyiv, Ukraine. He is known for being extremely responsive to bugs and feature requests on Reddit, constantly battling these platform limitations.
And I see they're looking ahead too, focusing on integrating AI.
That's the future. PocketTube already uses AI to create auto YouTube tags and enable one-click grouping of channels. But beyond that, Dmitry Nabok is developing a new AI-powered tool called Snipo.io.
What does Snipo.io do?
It integrates with videos for note-taking and annotating, targeting learning and development. It's the next logical step, treating a video not just as content to consume, but as a document you can highlight, comment on, and save. It's all about making video content work for you.
So, what does this all mean? We've seen that the core issue of YouTube subscription management stems from that cynical business decision back in 2015.
Right, to prioritize chaotic discovery over user needs.
And today, third-party tools like PocketTube provide a highly structured, organized solution to combat the algorithm's chaos and the sheer volume of content.
The ability to organize hundreds of sources by topic, filter out noise, and regain control over a crucial knowledge platform is clearly worth the monthly cost for a specific demanding user.
But the entire development cycle, requiring manual syncs and fighting against API limits, shows how much effort is required just to restore basic organizational functionality.
Absolutely.
And that leads to a final provocative thought for you to mull over. The complexity of managing these systems, requiring specific browser extensions, manual Google Drive sync, and battling frustrating YouTube API limits, it highlights this deep divide between platform goals and user needs. But given the rise of powerful, accessible AI coding tools like Claude Code, which specializes in complex code analysis,
Right.
will the next generation of power users abandon existing extensions altogether?
You mean, instead of relying on a dedicated third-party developer to wage that constant battle against the API, will users simply learn to prompt an AI to custom build the perfect, conflict-free YouTube feed management system tailored exactly to their own specifications?
Exactly. It moves the power of development from a handful of dedicated coders to the end user themselves. It democratizes the act of taking back digital control.
Imagine bypassing the clunky mobile apps and sync requirements entirely by just asking an AI to write the perfect solution for your desktop and your devices.
That's the frontier of digital self-management.